everybody, this is Bobby with Bobby Stamps, and I have card 2 for you today for my April free card packets. And what that entails is if you visit my blog and you shop on my online store, if you spend $25, you receive one of my free card packets that I offer. If you spend $35, you receive 2, and if you spend $50, you receive 3. And what that means is I send you the card stock to make all these cards that I'm showing you. So you won't receive the jewels, the pearl jewels in this one. You'll just receive the Watermelon Wonder as our card base, the Daffodil Delight is our second layer, and Whisper White is what we stamp on. So that's what I would send you. I never send any stamped images, and sometimes I do include the accessories. It just depends on what they are, if they're easy to ship, that kind of thing. So we will get started and I'll show you what you're going to need. You're going to need the basic pearl jewels, Watermelon Wonder ink, Wild Wasabi ink, and Daffodil Delight. And then you're going to need an aqua painter and the clear Wink of Stella. I have my mat just for stamping, and Thankful Thoughts. I love this, all the sentiments that this has. This is a great stamp set if you need different sentiments. And so the one we're going to use is A Note of Thanks. And then the stamp set I'm going to use is definitely Dahlia. And I just love this image as well. So we will go ahead and get started. So our card base is Watermelon Wonder. So you would receive this from me and it will already be cut and scored for you. You're going to receive the second layer of Daffodil Delight, and this is cut at 5 1/4 by 4, and then the piece of Whisper White is 3 3/4 by 5. And so what we're going to do is we'll take the Wild Wasabi, and then we'll just take the gigantic stamp, and what I like to do when they're this big is I'll just lay that down and just run the ink pad over top of the stamped image. That way I'm sure that I get it all inked up. We'll just flip that over, straighten our paper, and then we'll just stamp down. And it goes off the paper. It's not, the paper's a little bit smaller than the stamped image, but that's fine with me. Okay, and I'm gonna let that dry before we move on, because I don't want the green to run into, the Wild Wasabi to run into the Daffodil Delight when we go to watercolor that. So if you're in a hurry, you can use your heat tool to dry it, you know, fan it, you know, give it something like this. It's not going to take too long for it to dry, but while we're waiting, we'll go ahead and right here in the corner, we're going to take Watermelon Wonder and our sentiment that says A Note of Thanks, and we're just going to stamp that right down in the right hand corner. Oh, and I rocked just a little bit. So if you rock your stamp when you're doing that, you're going to get the little smudges around the side. So don't do that. I'm not going to start over. I'm just going to be real and show you guys what happens and what not to do. So yeah, you just want to, I didn't want to get my head in the camera, so I didn't want to lean over and make sure I wasn't getting it on the flower. So I was trying to lean back and I kind of rocked. So maybe we can cover that up with one of the pearls that we're going to put on. So we're going to take Daffodil Delight and just squeeze your ink pad like so. Some people, you know, I'm just not strong enough. I don't feel like sometimes to do it like that. So you want to get your ink in the lid like I just did. We're going to take the aqua painter, and I'm going to grab a paper towel because I don't want it to be too watery. And we're just going to go in, pick up some of that, and then we'll just start coloring pretty much all the white. I did leave some shading in some of the white areas, like the smaller areas where it's really small to get in there. And with this Whisper White cardstock, you have to be really careful. You do not want to go over when you're watercoloring with just on the Whisper White cardstock. If you're not using the watercolor paper, it will start to like the fibers will come apart on you. So you can't really go over it, I'd say maybe more than twice, or you're gonna see that and it's gonna ruin the look of your card. So you just want to be careful with that. Don't put too much water on it. You know, this would be good to do on the watercolor paper, but since this is one of the cards that I'm doing for my April free card packets and I'm going to be sending to customers, I just wanted to do the Whisper White. And so you can, I like the different variations. You can, you know, pick up a lot of the ink and make some be darker than others. So it's, you know, you have the Daffodil Delight in lighter shades. That makes that really pretty. And then you just keep going back in and picking up the color and the intensity of the color that you want. Some people, I'll be honest with you, when I watercolor, I normally don't put water in the chamber. I usually just have a cup of water sitting there and I dip the brush, the bristles on the brush into the water because I just feel like that gives me more control. But since this is just a little bit of what we're doing and it's not too detailed and I didn't have to be really that precise and stay in the lines, I thought that would be okay to just leave it in there like that. So then you can go back in the smaller areas and just kind of dab, just like that, just kind of dab. I just put just a little bit in the center just to make those little, and I liked some of the white showing through, so as you can tell, I'm not being too precise on that. Just making sure I get, and then, you know, if you wanted to, like I just said, you could go in again with shading, you know, do little random spots to make it be darker in certain areas, lighter in other areas like I'm doing. Okay, I'm just going to stop there just for the video purpose. You guys get the idea of what I'm doing. Okay, and we'll go ahead and close that up. Now I'm going to let this dry just a little bit more too before I put the Wink of Stella. So I'm going to go ahead and put my pearls on. And this pearl has already been used. As you can see, I got a small one. I was trying different things and I was trying to put pearls in the center of the flower to see if I liked that. And it turned out that I did not like that. So I'm not going to do that. But because that's already been used, I am going to use my fine tip glue pen just to hold that one down just to make sure it's going to stay, because I literally had to peel it off the paper. There we go. So now I'm just going to pick up the jewel and set it right there where I rocked, and that helps cover that up a little bit. And then I put 3. You could put however many you choose to use. Okay. Then we're going to go in with the Wink of Stella, and you see that you have your glitter right here in the chamber when you can see it, and if you need more, it says push right there. You just literally squeeze it and more comes out. But I just kind of randomly, and you don't have to take it all the way to the end either, because this is something that, you know, I didn't want like a complete 100% coverage. And I am gonna squeeze just a little bit more down in there. So I just went all the way around the flower. I'm going to do that over there just in case one time I did that and I accidentally got way more than what I wanted and ruined my project. but I went all the way around the outside. I think it's time for me to buy some more Wink of Stella. Getting just a little bit more, but not a lot. So you can just do it like that. And then we'll just set that off to the side. I'm gonna kind of dry it really quick with my mat. We'll go ahead and bring in the card base and put down our piece of Daffodil Delight. Just center that on there. I'm just going to give that a quick fan really quick. Oops. And then we're just going to center this like so. And there you go. So cute little thank you card. This might be the one I actually use for my April thank you cards. So just visit my blog. It'll have all the details on how you can get the free cardstock to make these cards. It's bobbystamps.blogspot.com. Thanks, guys.